How the columns in a table are defined. In a relational database, the data is arranged in rows and columns. Columns are attributes of the entity, and rows are the records. So, to define the columns in a row, let's create a database. For that, we first import the SQLite package, and then we create a connection by writing sqlite3.connect to our database mydb.db. If it does not exist, so Python will make a new database with the same name, and then we create a cursor, connection.cursor. This will help us to traverse through all the records in the database. And then we use connection.execute, and then we write the string. So here I'll write a multi-line string. So I'll write triple quotes. And the advantage of this is that you can just click enter and go on the next line if the string does not fit in one line. So it is more readable. So I write create table student. So that's my table name. And the properties in the of the student, or the columns in the student table, will be: first is the ID. So for that I will give a data type, and we have the integer data type for in SQLite. You can either write the full integer word, or you can just write int, either one is fine. And then we write that it is the primary key. Primary key indicates that it is uniquely identifiable key. So you can each person in the database will have a unique ID. And then we write not null. Not null means that the table that the cell of that the value for that attribute cannot be empty. Next we write the name of the person, name of the student, and that will be a text, and it will also be not null because a person must have a name. And then we give an age. Age is not null and integer. Next we have address. Address is a character is of character data type of 50 of length 50. The difference between character and text is that character will take all alphanumeric and all characters it will accept, but text will only accept alphabetical characters. So you can write age as real. There is another data type real, but we want integer data type. And then we close the bracket for the columns, and now we print that the table is created. You may add a semicolon after the bracket, but it is not necessary as such. But it is always a good practice to put a semicolon. And I miswrote over here, so it will be cursor.execute, not connection.execute. And now it says table created. Now to see how the table looks like with all the columns and the information about the columns, we can use something called as pragma. We write pragma, and then we write table underscore info, and then we write the name of the table within the brackets. And now we can just write result is equal to cursor.fetchAll, and then we print the result that we have received from the query. So we get a list form here, list of tuples. It's not really legible here, so I'll write it in a for loop to display it properly. So for I in res, print I. Now you can see it more clearly. All these columns are given indexes. So 0 index is ID. It is integer data type. Then it says that it is not null. 1 indicates that it is not null. None means that it does not have a default value. And the last one says that it is the primary key. The same format is followed for the rest of the columns, and thus this is how columns are defined in Python for a database.